I wasn't sending the data to where it needed to go. That was the problem.
Mm.
And we are live. All right. Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. My name is Kaiser Stardust, and we are going to be back in the world of Elsewhere. Or, well, are we, though? Not really. We are actually going to be back in the world of Snowberry Thicket, which is part of the Winter Court. So, recordings are going now. Let's go ahead and do a little bit of a recap here for those of us at home who are just tuning in to part 3 of Snowberry Thicket. Last time, quite a bit happened. I do believe there was the discovery there of realizing that. Each of these houses, at least a good majority of them, had some of these villager-turned stuffed animals in them. And Cacta and Raleigh the bear decided to take precedence over walking through these houses here. And so far, they have found a collection of characters, including a rabbit, a um, a rabbit, what else did we have? We had a piglet. We had found and we had found an owl character. I think that was kind of the major ones there, to my knowledge. Is that correct so far? I believe so.
She was. Yeah.
Oh, okay. And
Although the owl wasn't in a house.
yeah, the owl was not in a
wasn't
house.
exactly happy to see us at first.
That is correct. Yeah. So they found the rabbit, and then they found the piglet, which the pig did find out that they were the daughter of Raleigh. And the last time that we left the gang, they had transported themselves. Well, they had walked across the courtyard. They didn't. They didn't transport.
We had transited across the courtyard.
They had transported, teleported, however mode of transportation, it's hard to tell, across the courtyard over to this mysterious statue that Raleigh had pointed out was, he did not remember it being there. And after further discovery, this owl was the one known as Sentinel. And Sentinel was basically kind of frozen in place of their own mind, stuck between this loss of hope. And they were just kind of stuck at this gate there. Cacta was able to kind of snap them back to reality, and now we join our heroes back as Sentinel, Raleigh, the rabbit who is currently in a bag of holding.
Well, no, I left the rabbit with.
Oh, yeah, you did actually. You're right. So the rabbit is with Lula, the piglet. So currently our party consists of Sentinel, Raleigh, and Cacta. And as far as I know, they are currently walking their way over to where the kangaroo is. You guys are in the middle of this courtyard. And where would you like to go from here?
Refresh my memory, my good Sentinel, sir.
I thought you were talking I thought you were talking to me. I was like, I just did.
No. Nope. In character.
Yeah.
Refresh my memory, Sentinel. Do we have an armory?
I'm sorry, Mike. You were cutting out there. Can you repeat that?
He asked whether or not they have an armory. That means he was only cutting out for you.
Oh, okay.
Side.
Okay. I mean, we have a bit of one. It's not what I would call state of the art, if that's what you're asking.
Well, I think that it would be behoove us to perhaps, on our way out, to arm ourselves properly. For all I have currently, and I show that I just have, just like a crystal dagger and this arrow that to me is a spear. I believe that it would be beneficial for us to at least attempt to be ready before we face such perils.
I suppose it is worth looking into, but I feel as though we should probably gather together the rest of the group so that way we can
Oh,
accurately arm ourselves accordingly.
absolutely. I'm just thinking ahead, good sir.
I already know exactly what I'm gonna do when I get to the armory, by the way.
All right. And with that, you guys transition across the courtyard, and you
And
make.
the plan was to go to the first. It was to go to each house just to double check that there's nobody there.
Okay. However, you did tell Luna,
Well, yeah, we knew that we needed to go to the furthest house on the other side, but we also were planning on going to each house individually just to make sure that there's not any other civilians that are frozen over like our rabbit friend there.
Okay. All right.
It's more of doing a check-in to make sure we get everyone.
Okay. Yeah. No, that's fair. Let's take a look here.
Yes, no sense backpedaling. Because if we don't find somebody and they were here, oh, whoopsie.
just whoopsie.
Oh yeah.
All right. So here's what I will say. With that, you guys make your way to the house closest to the middle of the house to the direct adjacent of Raleigh the Bear's main chieftain house. This house is how would you describe it? As far as that goes, it of course looks like a standard kind of decent-sized log cabin. As far as when you walk up to the main part of this building, the first thing that you notice is that there's these crystals kind of laying. Not laying. They're hung above on the rafters of this porch, and you can see that there seems to be these animal bones that are kind of been fashioned into like little necklaces that are also kind of hanging from the rafters in different areas. There's a little there's like a little rocking chair and a little kind of outdoor kind of table that is kind of set in this porch. This is actually, and I want to clarify this, this is one of the only structures here that has a porch. And none of the other ones do. Do you make your way through?
Do I know whose house this would be?
Let's do a roll. Let's do a roll. Let's get our first roll
Yeah,
of the
let's
night.
see if I can remember. Let's see if I can remember. Get
Do
past that.
you
Remember,
know
it's
who
at
you are?
disadvantage. Remember, it's got -1.
It doesn't ring a bell. This one's not familiar to you.
Huh.
I'm going in anyways. The house is a mimic.
Okay.
Well, that's in the cactus. Okay.
All right, you make your way inside. So as just like all the other houses, this one here is dark, and it is relatively dark. But there is those what did I call them? The strike sticks. There we go. There is a bucket full of strike sticks next to the entrance, and as far as that goes, you can see that there are torches that can be lit across the area.
light up the house.
Literally. Let's just burn it down to the ground. All right, so
No, can't take it back now.
I'm gonna flip the light switch.
all right. So you take the time to. Do you use one of the matches, or do you just use your flamethrower adjacent?
I'm just gonna use my flamethrower, but I will pick up the matches just because they might be useful to someone else later.
Okay. So.
Like if we ever have to split the party.
Okay. All right. So with that being the case, so what we'll go ahead and do then is you go ahead and light these. You light these torches with the fire from your dragon's gun, and with that, the room lights up. Now that you can see in this area, it is a quaint home. You see that on one far side of the house, there's a table with many different kinds of leathers and what looks to be maybe some sort of like gems and different little items. And what looks to be a bunch of yarn and needles, and it looks like somebody's been kind of sewing these fabrics together. And then you do see that to the right side of the sorry, my mind is just not working today. Anyways, to the right side of the far wall, you see hung up. There's these shields, there's spears, there's arrows, but they're hung up like really high up, just kind of like decorative. They don't look functional. But you see that there's a table that has been kind of set, but there's no food on it, of course. And lastly, directly on the far wall, there is another kind of throne-style chair, very similar to Raleigh's chair. And this one is sitting amongst it is another stuffed animal. This one is a blue and black striped tiger. What would you like to do?
Well, I mean, we've obviously got to pick up the tiger.
You make your way across the room, ignoring most of the things in here, and pick up the tiger.
You're like, how could you? I was so descriptive with everything in here, and all you pay attention to is the tiger.
All right. So
Meanwhile, I am completely upset about there being a second throne in my village. But I'm keeping that jealousy inward.
So you equipped your spear and you march straight forward, menacingly. Okay, got it.
Yes, I do.
You stab into the floor. Oh no! Oh no, we're railroading the campaign. Jeez. Okay, so anyways, with that being said, okay, so back on point. All right, so you walk, you make your way across the area, and you go ahead and pick up the tiger. What do you do with this tiger? Oh, hey. Time out real quick. Just want to thank you so much, Agatha Barry, for following the channel. Welcome to the Cheese Party. Also, big shout out to Agatha for designing my avatar. Really, really awesome of you guys. You're a great and talented artist, and thank you so much for joining the stream. Anyways, back to it. So, yeah. So, Smokey, what were you doing?
Are there any bike tires around?
No.
So left field.
No, there is not. There
You
is-
of all people, Kaiser, should know exactly why I'm asking.
I
I've
don't.
sent you a TikTok that involved it.
No, I must have missed that TikTok. No,
I've even talked about the TikTok with you.
well, unfortunately, you know what? I'll roll a dice. Well,
You
Because I'm
roll
planning-
a general knowledge for yourself.
yeah,
It has to do with the artificer training that I gave myself.
oh, yeah, well, there's no bike tires to answer your question. I just rolled for
Okay, are there any car
it. Is there any
Are there any
automobiles?
tires?
Is,
Are there any motors?
is there any tanks or heavy assault Apache helicopters?
Oh, is there a wagon? Oh,
All right, are we done with
I
this
mean,
bullshit?
technically, all I needed was an actual bike tire rim, not even the tire itself.
Mhm. But anyways, the answer to your question is no.
Okay, I'll just have to ask that in every room, every building we go into from now on.
Oh, dear God.
I mean, you haven't given me a bow, so my entire main character has literally no.
Why don't you do a?
You realize that I'm getting a 4 plus negative. I'm getting a 4 minus 2 from my for using the sword, right? Which is the only thing you've given me.
Well, actually, you do still have your shotgun,
Which I don't have stats for.
which I am sending to you currently. I don't have a way to import them in here.
How could you?
So, as I'm, anyways, just so that our editor's not having to do an extensive amount of editing. Hold on, editor, hold on, editor. You can cut out all of that previous amount of jargon, and we will start in 3, 2, 1. All right. So, Mike, what were you saying?
I'm going to try, right, and figure out, because I'm starting to, I think I'm starting to figure out, right? So the owl, right, he was with great indecision. I was with,
Did he just get disconnected?
So I'm not sure. You kind of got cut out there, Mike. Could you repeat that?
I think he got disconnected.
So, Mike, I need you to repeat that. Hold on. There might be a delay there. So, Mike, hold on. Let me get a little closer to the microphone here. Hold on. Let me adjust some settings. Hold on. You might not be able to hear me correctly.
God.
Okay. So, as I was saying, Mike, could you repeat that? You cut out there. Editor, could you
yeah.
cut out
So-
that previous bit there where Mike was cutting out? Thanks.
yeah. So what I was saying is that,
Mm-hmm.
let's see if I can figure out that just maybe people have like this. There's a reason why they're frozen, not just this bloody cold. 'Cause
Okay.
I'm getting a suspicion.
All right. Okay. I'm sorry. Can you? Okay. What are you trying to do? You're trying to figure out why
Like,
everyone's
why-
frozen?
Okay, so the owl was, because this, the owl wasn't frozen, but he was still frozen,
Mm-hmm.
whether he wants to acknowledge it or not.
Okay.
And I was frozen. Why? Like, I want to figure out why I was frozen, and then from there I can maybe work backwards.
Hmm.
The evil of Cacta.
Okay.
Because I don't feel cold. We've already established this. I don't feel this cold.
I mean,
So it's not the weather.
you don't need to feel cold in order to freeze. You don't feel cold, I think, because you're a stuffed animal. And so you don't have the receptors required to feel cold.
Maybe. Well, we'll see.
So, all right. So, just can you summarize again what you're trying to do, just so I can make sure I understand?
I want to figure out if this is a natural cold or a magical cold.
Okay. Oh, okay. That's freezing these characters. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. Let's let's make a roll for that. And what would I make that roll? What would I make that roll? That is a great question. Let's for those of you who are taking a look at our video side, this is Raleigh the Bear's character stats that we now officially have. I think that is going to be. Tell you what, I'll let you pick. Do you want to? Hold on, what? Kaiza, best person, has joined the chat. What is happening? All right, well, thank you, Kaiza, best person, for following the cheese party.
Wow.
I don't know what's happening. Thank you. Back to the chat. I don't know what's going. Back to the. Sorry, not the chat. Back to the.
Yes, back to the chat.
Back to you, chat. So back to the stats, not the chat. So Mike, I need to know: do you want to roll a smarts check or a spirit check? This will be your choice.
Spirit.
Okay.
Spirit.
You're gonna roll a spirit check. All right.
Yeah.
That is going to be a D8 for those of you who are interested in those numerical numbers. Let's go ahead and get a roll going.
D8 plus
Cha-chow. Cha-chow.
Whichever one's best.
Cha-chow.
Meow.
All right, well, I rolled a 2, and there we go. I rolled a 6. Okay.
Ooh, much better.
Yeah, there you go. All right, so you got a 6. All right, so what are you... Okay, so with a 6, what are you trying to kind of figure out here?
Because I was frozen.
You are frozen, yes.
But I don't feel the cold. And I know that some might say, well, you just don't have sensation. But I would still be... I would be refreezing. If that was the case. But I'm not refreezing. So
yeah.
what froze me in the first place?
Okay, so here is what I'll say. You just kind of from your general knowledge, from being around this climate, you of course know that this does not remind you, okay, of the current world that you have lived in when you were a human, okay? Things seem different. Things seem a little bit more. The weather seems more aggressive, of course, but just through your bare eyes, as you will, you can.
Yeah, my button eyes.
Your button eyes, yeah, your button eyes, exactly. You can kind of see, you know, the snow coming in through the door, through the open door. You know, the chill. Excuse me, the because you can't see a chill. You can see the frost on the walls. You can see the fog coming from Cactus Breath. But when it comes to, for example, this blue tiger that Cactus is currently holding and examining for the better part of a couple minutes now, you can tell that this frost seems different. You can tell from different things around the area where the frost is starting to melt from the fire and the ice that's on the table. This is different. This seems to be it seems to make them more kind of bluer than normal. It seems to kind of not react to the fire around the room. It doesn't melt normally. You don't see any. It's almost kind of it reminds you of when you were in the cave. The frost that in the ice that covers these characters is almost geometrical in shape. Very faceted, if you will. It has many different kind of faucets.
Very crystal.
Exactly. And none of the other snow or ice that you've seen takes on those faceted, sharp angles like that. And that's
okay.
all you really know.
So with all that thought, the first thing I do is
It's
I
taking
realized
ibuprofen
we've
because you've
left
been
the-
really thinking.
At first I realized we've left the door wide open. First I realized we've left the door wide open,
Okay,
and I go and I close the door.
sure.
That's step one. Step two, I go and look in a mirror, and I see if my button eyes blink. When I blink,
They do not.
okay. I squint. I do all sorts of stuff. Do they change shape at all?
Nope.
I furrow my brow. Does my brow furrow?
Yeah, I mean, the fabric of your brow furrows, kind of like, for reference, that movie Ted would be a very accurate description.
Okay.
Ted, if you're watching this, yes, I do like your movies.
And then thirdly, while I'm doing that, because I'm thinking while I'm doing that, I go over to Sentinel, and I say, Sentinel, old friend, my memory does not serve. Who is it that lives here?
And with that, he takes his giant claymore and slices you in half, and the world will never know. All right, so Smokey, what are you doing?
He slices you in half for asking too many questions.
I grow tired of your questions.
You were never a good leader anyway.
I will take the throne now. The great power surges through me. And his Darth Vader music starts playing. Okay, editor, I am so sorry. Please cut all of that out for the final. Leave it in for Patreon, because that's really funny. No, so that that doesn't happen. So he he turns to you and he says, I'm sorry, I was zoning out. What were you saying? I was practicing combat maneuvers in my mind.
Yes. Refresh my memory. My memory does not quite serve. Who is it that normally dwells in this place? Who might this tiger be?
Oh. Yes, your memory must have faded you. I don't know why you don't know, but I'm sure you're still processing from the magic. Maybe something went wrong with the spell. Anyways, sorry. To answer your question, this is the dwelling of your right-hand advisor, Nye Nightlock.
Nightlock. What? What? Now, does that jog my memory?
Let's roll. Let's turn to the dice. A 4. Yes, the name Nye Nightlock sounds familiar. But the place that you have heard it before eludes you. But yes, it seems familiar but also distant. Like an echo in a cave.
So, Sentinel, I don't believe that it is the cold of the air, nor the snow, nor the ice that produces crystals such as this. And I kind of take the tip of my the not sharp side, like a professor with the pointy stick, and I start pointing to Exhibit A and Exhibit B, and then finally Exhibit C, which is the tiger and the crystals upon it, and I say, I do not believe that this is anything like any of those other examples. Would you concur?
I mean, if you had asked me, I would have told you. This, whatever this is yes, definitely not by natural means, if you will. For someone of my caliber, I would say that there seems to be some sort of darker forces at nature here, and it seems to feed upon the denizens of this land. And while I'm not exactly sure the full parameters of this magic, it regrettably, is more higher caliber than what I can ascertain. I will say
And
that. Oh, please continue.
begin, I begin rubbing my chin as he's talking.
Yes, as I was saying, I think that this may have something, of course, to do with the Ice King, but
Oh,
this is just.
absolutely. No questions there, my friend.
But this is just a hunch. There are. I don't want to say that out of ignorance because there are many things that stalk this land, and there's many unexplainable phenomenons. Um, I don't have to be a mystic to tell you that, of course.
Well, I guess what my real question was, right, was not necessarily its source, but rather the deeper source, because I, too, was frozen, and I am clearly not anymore. So, what... And I turned to Cacta now, and I go, what did you do to unthaw me? There, Cacta.
I'm gonna zone back in. What was that?
I was asking, how did you unthaw me?
Fire.
No,
Well,
no,
actually,
no,
for you, I
that was
licked
it.
you.
Huh,
But it could have been the fire as
oh,
well. I was close enough. But yeah, I
oh,
licked you.
no, yeah, okay.
For the record, this is the DM talking. For the record, it was both.
It was both the licking and the fire.
Okay, yes, all right. So with that, I go. I believe that perhaps there is something greater here. Well, I don't think it's going to be the heat that thaws them, and I think it's key that we find out what frees them in the first place and do the opposite of that. Does that seem? Am I crazy here?
I think that it would be advisable for us to gather up all of these individuals and maybe figure out a strategy once we have all of them together.
Stuffed animals, gotta lick 'em all.
In fact, yes. Try that. Real quick, if you don't mind.
I'm gonna lick.
I would do it, but I don't
lick.
not appear to have a tongue.
Okay, so
lick him.
all right, so you're licking 9 Nightlock. Okay.
No, I'm licking the bear.
Oh, not. although I do appreciate this. That is not what I meant. Stop it. Your tongue get tickles. No, I meant to lick the tiger. Let's see what happens.
Okay, is that what you do? Cactus?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so you go ahead.
So where am I licking him exactly?
I don't know. What are you so what exactly are you doing?
And I'm back.
Well, as it is, I'm licking the tiger. I'm not sure where I'm licking him, but I am licking him.
Well, since this is a PG-13 show and broadcast, I'm just gonna say you licked him on the face to keep it on track here.
I eat their ears?
Uh-huh. Are you trying to make more work for my editor?
Yeah.
Please
He
don't.
licks the back of his leg.
Trying to steal my die.
All right, so.
I
Anyways, go ahead and roll your dice. Can I just say this rules out that my assumption.
Oh, just give me a straight roll. Just give me just a straight roll, and we'll go from there.
Straight
Can I
roll.
just say?
I don't know what a straight roll would go off since technically
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like just a regular roll. Just give me
But
a
I don't know
roll and
what dice it would be going off of because of that.
the d6s. If I
Can I
ask for
just
just
say
a,
the
a
fact?
straight roll, it's usually just d6s because d6s are the averages.
That's a 4.
A 4? Okay. Um, some of this ice does seem to kind of melt, but weirdly enough, as soon as you get done licking, it goes right back to the way it was, and it tastes. The best way that you can describe this taste on your tongue would be almost like if you were licking a grapefruit. It's kind of citrusy, kind of tangy, and it's there's this like kind of staticiness on your tongue as you do so.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep licking.
Okay. Um. All right. Well, I'm gonna roll for that now.
Guys, can I just say that this rules out
Mm-hmm.
my conclusion from last week as to why I was being disconnected?
Yeah, man. It's just you just get disconnected, man.
I think the means of our communication just doesn't like me staying connected.
Yeah. Probably not. But let's stay on track because I'm not stopping the recording, and every time we get off
Yeah.
subject, my editor has to cut that out. So, editor, please cut that out. Thank you. So I got a 4. So here is what happens. As you begin to continuously lick, this staticky gets this staticky taste starts kind of tingling your tongue more and more. The flavor profile starts going away. It's almost kind of like the best way I could adjacently describe it to is those old televisions. If you've ever just stuck your face next to them and you feel the static just like literally shocking you, it's kind of like that, but on your tongue. So you notice that there is small crystalline crystals that start forming on your tongue.
I'm just gonna be like, hey, look, my tongue.
And I think with that, I think that Sentinel just rolls his eyes and walks over and takes the tiger from you. He says, "May we stay focused, please." And with that, he holds it up to one of the torches against the wall, and it starts to melt. And you see this blue tiger start to kind of stretch and kind of wiggle around, and then the sentinel puts him down on the ground. And then this.
Oh, yes. Step A, we forgot step B.
And with that,
Fire and the tongue.
with that, this character stands up with a bit of a spring in its step, and it says, "Oh, well, man, I felt like I was asleep there for a moment. Oh, greetings, guys. How's it going?"
I'm gonna tackle his tail.
No, oh no! He starts kind of running around the room a lot faster than you would think it would be possible for a tiger. And he says, "Oh, hey guys! Oh, glad to see you too. Did you guys miss old Nightlock?"
But
Oh,
no
good old
clue who I
Nightlock.
am.
Yes. My friend. Yeah.
Oh,
Welcome back.
You're
Wait.
mighty tasty.
wait a second. Oh, hold on. Hold on, wait now. I know you. And he points to Sentinel. And I know you. And he points to Raleigh. And he says, but I don't know you. And he points to you, Cacta.
I don't know you either, but you're mighty tasty.
Oh, well, I don't know how to respond to that, but I guess thank you very much. I guess, it may have been that lavender bath I took. Man, I hate baths, but you know what? Lavender's always a good one. Um, my name, of course, is Nye. Nye? I don't know. I'm pretty sure it was Nye. I think it was Nye. Weird.
The end is nigh.
Nightlock. Yep. Sorry, he really kind of just zoned out there for a minute and zoned back in. Anyways, yeah, pleasure to meet you. So where are we off to today? What's our adventure?
Well, Nightlock, my good friend, well, it turns out that my good friend Jack Frost has tasked us with quite the adventure this time.
Ooh, wow. Wow. An entire adventure from Jack Frost himself. Oh, well, that guy's a mighty fella guy. What's the pleasure we're going to be facing today?
We gotta
And
stop
I
his
take-
dad.
Sorry, there was some beeping on the line. Can you repeat that?
Oh, I just interject, just saying we're gonna have to we have to stop his dad. Probably gonna have to kill him.
Oh, gee, Willigers.
Yes, sadly, my friend, I hate to inform you of this tragic news, but there's no gentle way to put this. Jack Frost is no longer among us.
Oh, no, that really takes the old spring out of my my step there. That's relatively dreadful. I'm sorry to hear that. And he kind of slumps his shoulders a little bit on this information. But then you see him kind of take his paw and start kind of tapping his cheek, and he says, well, if my mama were still here, what would she say? Well, I guess she would say, there's no use in crying over spilt milk, and you gotta realize the milk's gone, and then you gotta just trudge forward. So, tell you what, let's go find some new milk. And he starts trudging out the door.
Wait, one second there.
He's gone.
Night.
He's out the door.
Die! Oh, heavens. He was always like this, wasn't he? Was he? He was, wasn't he?
You can't remember it, but you definitely would say he's actually no, sorry, I just re-rolled. Yeah, you're pretty sure he's been that energetic.
All right. And I go racing after him as fast as my little bear legs will take me.
Okay, which is not that fast. Cacto, what are you doing?
No.
Looking for loot.
Looking for loot. Well, on that
everywhere.
Well, on that note, I'm glad that you brought that up. So, give me 1 second. Editor, we're going to take a quick pause here on the recording real quick.
Oh.
All right, so for those of you who are video listeners, we're just gathering together some objects here and some items.
Kaiser's like, well, now I have to create loot for you.
Yeah.
Oh, don't worry. There's down to be 16 different loot generators he has at his disposal.
Yeah.
You found a magic sword that gives you the power to fly.
Oh, that would be great.
A magic sword that has the power to save princesses.
I've already got one that detects them. No, a magic sword that does more damage to princesses.
The Princess Slayer.
Oh, yes. Alright.
Why is it pink? Just a pink broadsword.
Let's see here. I'm just trying to kind of find. What's really weird is that of all the things that I have here, for whatever reason, this is not one of them. I'm trying to find something very very specific, and I just don't think that it's in this book. Actually, hold on. You know what? It might be in this book.
I'm literally reading an article that's giving false information about stink bugs.
Oh yeah, special weapons, page 77.
The only stink bugs they brought up were the brown ones, which they're saying, oh, they'll eat your plants. No, the brown ones eat other insects. It's the green ones you have to worry about eating your plants.
Yeah, it seems to be, I guess
But this article
so
doesn't
machine
care.
gun.
The brown ones are actually decent to have around, as they'll help with any sort of insect problem you might have.
There it is. I found it. Okay, so here is what I'll do. I'm going to go ahead and duplicate this information for you, so you can just take this, and I'm going to just put this on your desk. This is the information to the flamethrower if you ever want to know what the damage is that it uses. But for the other information, we'll have to do things pretty weird. So I am going to be sending you some information here on Telly. So the shotgun item that I am sending you is going to be what its damage as far as using it as like a standard shotgun would be. Then as far as that goes, in this room you do, of course, well, we'll get to that here in a second because I got to turn back on the recording. So then there's that information right there, and then that should be good.
Well, obviously now we need to go back to the rabbit, and he needs to lick the rabbit, and we need to hold it up to a torch,
Or a flamethrower.
or a fireplace.
But did you get that information on Telly, Smokey?
I think so. I heard a bunch of buzzing.
Okay. Let me go ahead and get our recording.
Oh, so I am still looking for loot as well. Don't forget.
Yeah. So we're recording in 3, 2, 1. So in this room, you do find that there is a bow, and it is a functional bow. But outside of that, you do find a couple of arrows, but not much more else in here. Unfortunately.
And a bike tire.
And there's no bike tire.
You find a shield, and then you find some rubber, and you put them together, make a
You
wheel.
find an energy sword.
Okay, thanks.
No.
So how much damage does that do?
It depends on how strong the force is with you.
Okay, I'm gonna roll for force.
You got a negative 3,000. It disintegrates in your
The door
hand.
goes backwards and pierces through you.
It disappears back into the DM's closet. But in all seriousness, yeah, you do find a bow, and that's and some arrows. And with that, what do you do?
With that, I will.
Probably start by taking the bow and the arrows.
To be fair, I could actually. Well, now I have a new idea, actually. But, yeah, I guess I'm going out and trying to see if I can find where everyone else went.
All right, wonderful. So you make your way out.
Because I realized I actually could improve upon the initial idea that I had. So I don't need a bike tire. I'm going to need a full-on shield.
Okay, so you make your way out of the cabin. You do
I've been
not.
saying tire this entire time, but in reality, I'm looking for just the. I was looking for just the
like a wagon wheel.
Well, not even that. More just look at the hub itself, because a wagon wheel would be too large for what I need.
Yeah. Well, unfortunately, as the DM, I will tell you there's no actual tires or like hubcap assemblies in this world currently.
Well, it would be more of like the bike, like the thing with like the spokes.
Yeah, there's
Like the actual rim instead of
Hi.
Yeah, there's no bikes that are in this, especially in this realm. There's no bikes.
Really?
Nope.
Bikes were a fairly early invention.
Not in this land.
Well, luckily we have shields, so my idea still can work.
Yeah, maybe.
And in fact,
There's no shields. The time before shields. The time before weapons themselves. All your weapons just disappear.
in the land before time itself.
But in all seriousness, all right. So you trudge out into the snow, and the snow has picked up aggressively. As you look around, everything is just a blur of snow flurries, and give me a notice check.
Anubis check. A 4.
Okay. So here is what I will say with a 4. The land is very this blizzard has started to pick up to an aggressive howling. You don't see Raleigh, and you don't see the blue tiger who calls themselves Nye. But you do see some tracks, and these tracks seem to lead over to where the other cabin is. What do you want to do?
Well, I mean, I guess I'll go over to the other cabin. I mean, that was the initial plan to begin with. Okay.
You make your way to the cabin. And as you make your way over to the cabin, this one you do actually notice that in this blinding flurry of snow, as you make your way to the front door of this cabin, a feeling, a prickle, something. Can't quite place your finger on it. Something seems off, but you're not exactly sure what. And as you approach the threshold of the door, and I'd say just get to the main threshold, as your hand kind of reaches for the door, you feel this gust of chilling air coming from underneath the what do you call that? Sorry, the bottom of the door. There's an actual name of it. Door jam. Door jam. Is it door jam the right word?
I mean, the door jam would be the actual.
Yeah, it would.
Thing going around the
Mike,
door.
Mike, give me an adjective here.
Hole. Is Mike even still in the call?
It says he is. Mike, are you with us? That's so weird. It says that he's part of the call. Mike, do you have yourself muted?
Mike.
Weird. I will go ahead and add him. I will go ahead and call him again. Editor, if you want to edit this part out, feel free. I find it funny that he's literally gone into the snow. He's just gone. He's gone.
I'm back.
But no, you're not. You're gone. No one knows where you are, Mike. But Mike,
not my character.
I
Me.
was
Me
yeah,
specifically.
both.
God.
Both. Apparently. Mike, I was asking you for an adjective.
Oh.
Yeah,
Wait
give me an adjective that describes the space underneath of the door, and then like this, all the space around the sides of a door. What do you call that? A door jam?
That's the door frame.
Well,
Thank you. Door frame. The frame of the door. Okay.
although that doesn't typically include
the
space under
space-
the door, as it's empty.
The
typically.
space around the frame of the door. There we go. That's what I'm going to go with. Editor, you can cut all that previous bit there. Back on track. So as your hand goes to reach for the door, you feel around all of the space of the door, all of a sudden this huge gust of Arctic wind, and it blasts through this door and surrounds you. I need for you. As soon as I pull up my information that I need. All right. So I need for you to go ahead and make an agility roll, please.
All right.
As you are kind of kicked back from this gust of wind.
An agility roll?
Yes. And whatever you get, subtract 2 from it, please.
Subtract 2?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. That is just making sure. Yes, okay. Zero? Or -1, actually?
-1. All right. Are you using was that an agility roll? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't you
That
wait,
was a
you have a
D8.
D8. Aren't
Yeah,
you
I
roll?
rolled a 2 on the D8.
You rolled 2 D8s
Did you
and
roll
got...
D6?
No, I rolled the D6 and the D8.
Oh, that's
I rolled
right.
a 2 on the D8. And I rolled a 1 on the D6.
Wouldn't you hold on? Don't you roll the same number for your
No.
hero die? You
The
don't?
hero die is always a D6.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, hey, I was trying to help you out there, but okay. All right. Fair.
I mean, I can't take stuff like that, otherwise
He's
it's
just,
like
like,
favoritism
cheating.
as I am dating you.
You're like cheating the game.
As we're dating, I'm not gonna try to take advantage of stuff like
No,
that. 'Cause
I
I don't
appreciate-
need to be seen as.
No, I get it. So moving this ship along. All right. So with that, I'm going to now roll your damage. Give me one moment, please.
Had you made it an athletics one, I would have been able to re-roll it.
Hey, unfortunately, I can't choose what these dice are. Ooh, 8, 9, 10. You are shot backwards, very far, and you slam in the middle of the courtyard on your back for 10 points of damage. Where are you? Are you still alive?
I don't even know how that translates.
10 points of damage is going to go against, let's see here, fighting. It's been a while since we pulled up the stats. Mike, do you remember it off the top of your head?
That would go against my toughness.
It's
right?
going against his toughness.
Yeah, so that goes against your toughness.
Yeah, my toughness is only a 7.
Okay, so a 7, 8, 9, 10. So that would be a
So
3.
it doesn't get a but it doesn't get a raise.
It doesn't get a raise. Let's take a look at page 124 in my...
That means I have a.
I believe you would just be shaken,
let's
Oh,
not
yeah.
stirred.
God, why is there so much lag? What the hell?
Shaken, not stirred.
No, like there is a serious amount of lag when I was moving this incapacitated token.
It's probably just the internet, I imagine. Okay, so editor, I'm going to go ahead and pause this really quickly here. All right, let me go ahead and take a look at this and just kind of figure out where we are. Because let's see here. Characters, edges, bloodlines, gear, rules, combat, fear, downtime, hazards.
Damage.
Yeah, they don't separate it off of damage. I imagine it'd be on page 124 with combat, but I actually just do not know.
Mm-hmm. Wounds. I think it might be under wounds.
Yeah, I imagine it is, Mike. But the nice thing about this game is they don't separate it like that. Here it is. So melee attacks. The target number to hit is an opponent is equal to the parry plus 2. This wasn't an attack like that. This was just a...
Yep.
Yeah, this is just a damage. Okay, after a successful melee or ranged hit, the attacker rolls damaged. Since this is a situational environmental situation, it goes straight to damage. Ranged weapons, blah, 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 blah. If the damage roll is less than the target's toughness, the victim is beaten up a bit, but there's no in-game effect. If the damage is equal to or greater... hold on, let me start back on my recording. And editor, we are back in. So, how damage works in this game is that if the damage roll is less than the target's toughness, the victim is beaten up a bit, but there's no in-game effect. But if it is equal to or greater than his toughness, they are shaken. Each raise on the damage roll is also inflicts a wound. Success, the character is shaken. If he was already shaken, then the second result is from physical damage. If you got a raise, you would have got a wound. So no, you were just shaken. Shaken. As of right now, you are nicked, bruised, or otherwise rattled. As you lay on the ground, you basically must attempt to recover from being shaken by making a spirit roll. This is a free action. So you are knocked. You have the wind knocked out of you, and
you said spirit roll's a free action.
Yeah, you can go ahead and roll your spirit roll now because we're not in combat.
As well. Come on, thank you.
Can I assist him with my power, or am I gone?
You are not anywhere to be seen.
All right.
Sorry, what'd you say, Cacta?
I got a 4.
All right, you got a 4, so that is a pass. So you kind of cough a little bit and kind of get the wind back in your lungs, and you're able to kind of like prop yourself up on your elbows.
Crack, like as I'm getting up, just crack my neck, just like, and just be like, well, that wasn't. I didn't expect that.
And as you look from where you were blasted from, you can see that the door is laying kind of next or near to you in the courtyard, and there is just this huge amount of snow and wind kind of just pouring out of that area. And give me a notice check. I want to see if you hear this.
A notice check. Well, that's going to be...
Wait, is he no longer inside the house?
Oh, I never even made it in the house.
Oh, wow. Oh, wow.
Nope. I didn't notice it.
What'd you roll?
2.
You rolled a double 2. So here's what I will say. You...
My character still has no idea what's going on.
Here's what you hear. You hear, as you kind of... are you walking closer back to this door? I want to kind of get a frame of reference of what your character's doing.
Yeah, but this time I've actually got my flamethrower lit up.
Okay. You hear...
Just ready.
Yeah, as you get closer to this door, you hear a... But that's all you hear. You can't make sense of it. What do you want to do?
I guess I'm gonna try to enter the house again.
You are jettisoned into space, and you are blasting off again.
Team Rocket.
You're welcome, everyone. Editor,
Rocket.
you can make your decision on whether or not you want to leave that in. I thought it was pretty funny.
Team Rocket is blasting off again.
So
Cactus blasted off again.
So with that, you step onto the threshold of this door, and as you make your way past it, the torches in this room light up automatically. They kind of do that thing where they kind of just go one by one around the room. And standing, sorry, not standing, sitting on of all places on the table is a stuffed animal kangaroo. You can see that unlike just like the other ones, this one has a thick kind of crystalline sheet of snow and ice on them. And now that you are in this lit up room, which is very similar to a lot of the other cabins, fireplace, tables, chairs, your standard affairs. But what's different about this room is that there's, along the walls, you can see that there's frozen over glass vials of liquids. You see frozen over flowers and herbs that have been hung dried along the ceiling. And you can tell that this would definitely be your standard kind of healer's sort of chamber. Someone who is very familiar with plants. You see frozen mushrooms, vials of different mosses. You can't make out what would be. But one thing that you do now hear, because it is deafening, is a voice along the wind. And something that now kind of is you can now see where this wind and this snow is coming from. It's coming from this hole in the ceiling, but it's flowing unnaturally downwards. And the snow flurry starts kind of now whipping around the room, kicking up the flames on the walls, and it spins around you, kind of making this kind of flurry of frost and snow, and the fire kind of licks around it, but it doesn't seem to really affect any of this wind. And as this wind whips around your ears, you can now hear audibly, "You are an intruder to this land. Leave this place." And then, with one final gust, all of the torches whip out, and you are now plunged back into darkness.
Plunged back into darkness? Are you sure about that? Just revs up the flamethrower.
You rev back up the flamethrower and light your own torch, bringing back the light to this now cold and dark room. What do you do?
I'm just gonna be like, seems like I pissed someone off. Good.
All right. And with that, what do you do now? Do you make your way over to the kangaroo?
Yeah. I'm gonna lick him and I guess bring the
Stick 'em.
torch closer.
Lick 'em and stick 'em.
Okay, you lick them like a postage stamp, and then bring the torch closer. And with a bit of a shudder and a shake, this one too kind of comes back to the land of the living, and she kind of cranes her kangaroo head around, and she kind of looks up at you, and she says, "Oh, well, it's I guess a pleasure to have a visitor here. The name's Pepper. It's nice to meet you, stranger."
Cacta, I sort of here with your leader. Not 100% sure where he went off to.
Oh, okay.
Something about this odd blue tiger guy who decided to just run off.
Oh, okay, all right. And I'm assuming the leader you mean our esteemed leader Raleigh the bear, correct?
Who? I don't know anyone by that name.
Specifically, hold on, editor, cut that bit out. She says, "Oh, you mean Raleigh? Oh, yeah, I'm sure he's around here somewhere. At least hopefully." I'm sorry, I hate to ask, how are the others? I know that, something terrible happened to them. I don't know if you know already, but I'm the village healer, and I remember trying to help all of them, and they just slowly froze over in my hands, and there was nothing I could do for them. And then it got so cold. And, well, now I'm here.
I mean, a lot of them are also frozen over, so you're not the only one.
Are any of them back awake, or?
Well, we had to put a couple of them down. They decided to be disruptive, so they had to die.
She stares into the void.
I'm gonna start laughing. No, some of them are awake.
Oh, okay. Yes, you got a dark sense of humor, I see. Okay, alright, great.
I have some sort of sense of humor in a frozen wasteland like this.
I suppose that's fair. Well, can you, kindly lead me to the others, please, Cacta?
I can try. I figured they weren't here, so...
Alright.
So I'm gonna go back to the building that I do know we have some people in.
Okay, yeah, you make your way over to where, Pepper and, excuse me, Pepper is with you.
You were making your way over to Pepper.
You make your way...
Congratulations, you've already made it there.
You make your way over to where Juno and, Luna, are currently housed. And with that, we are going to transition over to you, Mike, as we transition slowly over to you, Mike. Editor, you can cut this out. He has dropped the call, so we'll just give it a few minutes here.
In the back.
All right, editor, you can cut out that bit there. All right, and with that, we pan over to you, Mike. So,
Right.
you are chasing after Nye Nightlock. Nye is running ahead, and Raleigh, as you kind of struggle to keep up in this shoulder-high snow, and you notice that the snow flurry is starting to pick up heavier and heavier, to where it's kind of hard to see Raleigh. Excuse me, it's hard to see yourself. But much more, it is even more difficult to see Nye. But you can see that they're running past the gate and they are running into the forest. What do you do?
I mean, chase after them, I guess.
Yeah, you chase after them, and you kind of run down past the main prefaces of this area of the watchful wall, and you start running down this snowy sloped hill, and we're going to need to make an agility check as your feet start to kind of stumble under this loosely packed snow and the downward descent of this hill. So let's go ahead and get an agility roll here for a d6. Let's get ourselves a roll. All right.
I really should have taken one of those shields to use as a sled.
With that, you got a 5, so you are able to you stumble a little bit, but you're able to keep yourself going and chase after.
Yeah, I'm yelling after him now.
All right. And with that, you hear.
Die! Die!
And
Die,
with.
good heavens, wait up, die!
He says, "Oh, yo, man, you gotta come on, it's just this way." And he breaks the tree line.
We gotta look for our friends, all of them.
He is running past the tree line now. Do you follow?
I am, yeah.
Okay, you pass into the tree line. You make your way into to the forest. It's darker than most of the other forests that you've been walking through. This one seems to kind of not really let any light pass. Before, there was kind of this blue kind of dreary sky, but it was still light enough you can make out basically everything for the most part. But here in this forest, there seems to be an unnatural darkness. But you can hear the laughing up ahead saying, "Oh, it's just this way. Come on. You got to catch up." And you can kind of see Nye in the distance. And he darts past another tree up ahead.
Yeah, I'm going to try to keep up the best I can, realizing that now that he's a stuffed animal, he's never going to run out of energy. This is fast.
Yeah, and in fact, you have noticed that instead of running on 2 legs, he has switched to running on 4. So yeah, you try to keep up, and eventually, this chase comes to a bit of a clearing.
To a cliff where you jump off.
And Nye stops.
It leads to a candy cane gingerbread house.
No. So with that, he comes to a stop in the middle of a small clearing. This clearing is for the most part a kind of a semicircle of trees. And there's a medium-sized rock in the middle of this clearing, and he kind of looks it over, and he kind of hops up on top, and he turns around to you, and he does kind of a small little shuffle with his feet, kind of like a little dancing jig, and he does a little bow, and he says, "Hey, you caught up to me. Awesome. Hey, do you want to know a secret?"
Sure. My game.
Well, it's a secret that I can't really tell the others. Are you sure?
You're not coming out on me, are you?
No, silly. But, well, I guess it's safe to say you fell for my trap.
Of course you did.
And with that, you see 9 Nightlock start to split apart at the seams. You see the stuffing start to kind of jut out of them. In an unnatural way, you see his arm explode off in a form of ribbons. And out of it comes this long, sinewy arm. And you see that there is a hoof attached to it. And you see the other one explode out on the right side. And then
How long does this take to happen?
a matter of seconds.
Can I turn to run, like do an agility check?
You know what? Because you are interrupting my narration, sure, but I will make it be at a -6.
Ooh.
That's not impossible.
Okay. Did you want me to continue my narration?
Sure. I look on in horror.
Okay, thank you. Anyway, so as I was saying, you see that his form. Are you done, car horn, out my window? Thank you. Jeez, so many distractions.
See, I'm supposed to be able to run.
Anyways, in conclusion, so you see that his head starts to kind of rip apart at the seams, and you are now kind of looking at 2 red eyes, and these red eyes kind of stare out from this crack in the seams before 2 giant horns jut out of the eyeballs of Sai's face, and then almost like wearing your mask, this mask rips apart off of the face, and the stuffing and the fabric just shatters across this now deer head. And slowly but surely, this creature starts crawling out of this small creature and tripling and quadrupling its size before it towers above you. You couldn't even really comprehend, maybe 5 feet, 6 feet? It doesn't even seem humanly possible that this entity came out of such a small creature. And it stares before you with red eyes. And it opens its mouth, and it lets out a piercing scream that will haunt you for the rest of your days. And now we transition back over to Cacta. So Cacta, so you are now out rendezvousing with the rest of the others. And at this point, you've had enough time to meet in the threshold of the cabin that is containing the others, which includes Luna and Juno the rabbit. And Luna looks up to you and says, "Oh, hey, you're back. It's good to see you. Oh, my goodness, is that you? Oh, Pepper, it's so good to see you." And she rushes across the threshold and gives Pepper the kangaroo a big hug. And Pepper smiles warmly down on them and says, "Oh, hey there, Luna. It's good to see you." And, oh, I see Juno is still the same. Cacta, has there been any progress with Juno the rabbit here? And they look at you.
I'm going to, without saying anything, go over and try the same thing that's managed to unfreeze everyone else.
For this one, it doesn't seem to work.
Well, that's all I got.
I can imagine the look of horror on everyone's faces.
Oh, dear. This is very troubling, Pepper says, and kind of looks Juno over. You know, you know, Sentinel, you've been here the longest. You oversaw this operation. Do you by chance know, I mean, I of course tried to heal these people, of course, but do you know what may have started all of this? You've had the watchful eyes the most. And as eyes kind of turn over to Sentinel, Sentinel kind of strokes his feathery face, and he looks at Juno's frozen form, and he says, "Well, I can't say that I've seen all of them change, especially not Juno. But I know that given Luna was the chieftain's daughter, I did oversee to make sure that they were not in any sort of danger. And I think, if memory serves correctly, I think shortly after the torches went out and I had rushed over to try to relight them, I noticed it was shortly after that time frame that that Luna had frozen over. And I think at this point, Luna kind of pipes up and says, "Oh, yes. When the darkness came, yes. It all got very cold. And I just remember being so terrified. And then so very cold. And then I awoke when the lights turned back on. Or somewhere shortly after. Or maybe before. But I definitely do remember at that point being, remember seeing Raleigh. And I think with this, Pepper pipes up and says, "Well, I know for me, when I got greeted by this frost, everyone else was already frozen. And I remember just feeling so helpless, so unable to do anything. And it just felt so horrible, just such a dark feeling powerless to be able to help my friends when I'm supposed to be the healer of this land, or, well, at least this town." And then that feeling just got colder and colder. And then I remember waking up to you, Cacta. Do you have any theories on what might be actually going on with this frost?
Magic.
Well,
in reality, it seems like it might have something to do with despair, hopelessness.
Interesting. A magic that feeds on hopelessness. That seems such a terrible form of magic, if you ask me. I don't know who would even want to form such a power. Be downright evil.
Yeah, there's quite a few evil people in this world.
I suppose you're correct. Well, I suppose enough brainstorming for now. And with that, Pepper kind of hops to, and she looks at Sentinel and she says, "Well, Sentinel, you're the strategist of this group. Have you any idea on what we should do next?" And Sentinel kind of folds his wings and he says, "Well, I'm not sure exactly what happened to Raleigh, but I know that we should probably go ahead and get to the armory and get some gear." And with that, Sentinel kind of about faces and makes his way out the door. And everyone kind of slowly follows. Do you follow as well, Cacta?
Yeah.
You guys make your way around the backside of where the main chieftain's village is, and you the main chieftain's
Where his entire village
his whole village. You make your way over to around the backside of the main chieftain's cabin, and you now see this kind of cellar door that you didn't notice before. And with that, you go ahead, you see that Sentinel takes and just kind of pries it up, and you see a lot of snow kind of push its way out of the way as he heaves at this cellar door out of the way, and you see him procure one of the strike sticks and strike it against the cabin, igniting it, and he uses it as a torch as he makes his way down into this cellar. Everyone else follows. Do you as well, Cacta?
Yeah.
You make your way
down the stairs.
You casually fall down the stairs and bump into everyone as you do so. And Rue kind of catches you and says, "Oh, be careful there, lad. I don't want you getting any sort of nicks or bruises." And she writes you up. And with that, you continue down.
I've been written up?
Rightens you up. Right sides you up, if you will.
Right.
And with that, you make your way down to the cellar floor, and you can now see that the walls of this cellar are lined with shields, some swords and spears, and then a few bows. But nothing too fancy. There's not any like armor or anything like that. There are a couple of walking sticks, and you see that with that, you see that Owl keeps his giant claymore. But you see that Pepper grabs a staff, and you see Luna, and she grabs a small little dagger. And with that, what do you grab in this room, Cacta?
Well, I still have been trying to make the thing.
Okay.
Is there any stretchy rubber?
There's no stretchy rubber in this room, though. but there is shields. There is bows. There is string for a bow. I guess let me ask, what are you trying to do?
I'm trying to make the, well, technically it's a version of the wheel bow thing that I had sent you on TikTok.
Okay. Yeah,
But in
again,
this case, I'd be using one of the shields, and I'd need some sort of more stretchy material, since the material itself has to be the one to stretch instead of the bow.
Okay. I think with that, let's see here. Do you kind of voice out what you're trying to do to the rest of the group?
Yeah, I guess I may as well.
Okay. Let me go ahead and do a group roll here for just.
But why I think that it's a
You
good
find
idea...
someone's spandex pants.
I mean, technically that would work.
Oof.
Good thing.
Chat, you see it here. Double ones. Everyone.
Not only do they fail, they crit fail and everyone's weapons break.
So that check was going to be for if anyone could assist you. Everyone just kind of looks around.
Ignores the fact that I exist.
Everyone kind of just looks around and just kind of shrugs at you and just says, sorry, Cacta. I don't know really how to help you there. We do have some shields, but outside of that, I mean, I don't know if we're going to be able to make a complex weapon of that under these sparse pickings. And
Complex? But it's a basic weapon.
well, judging from what you have there in your hands, I'd say you've got a more advanced weapon than anything we'll be able to provide you. And you see that Pepper points to your dragon headed flamethrower shotgun with the fur. Is there anything else you grab in this room?
1 sec.
Ooh, that reminds me. Mike, just checking in. You're still within the group, correct?
I am.
Okay.
I keep thinking, I wish my character could bust back into town, being followed by like 16 reindeer or something.
So there's not even any sort of rubber at all.
No, not in this room.
Damn, they really need to start using more rubber.
Right? Where's that protection?
Yeah, well, this is the times before rubber, I guess, in this kingdom. All right, so with that being the case, so what would
I'm
you?
going to try to figure out if I can actually create it so that I can actually attach the shield to my bow.
Okay, I'm sorry. So what are you trying to do?
See if I can attach the shield to my bow.
Okay. You're attaching
pretty much creating what I wanted to begin with, except in a much simpler fashion, to where the shield is just on top of the bow.
Okay, all right. Tell you what, there's some extra string and kind of some rope around in like little loose bits of leather. Unfortunately, still no rubber. But you are able to
Rubber? Okay.
You are able to take and fashion it to the side of this bow and kind of I guess what you would say kind of like a crude crossbow shield thing.
This is when he looks at the pig and realizes that she's made of rubber.
And with that, here's what I'll say. Since this is a crudely built item, as the DM, I will tell you there is a chance that if you were to crit fail or up to my discretion, it will break.
Immediately crit fails. Now I have no weapon.
No weapon. So with that being said, the party kind of.
Wouldn't the crystal sword also be considered a crude weapon? Actually, could I see if I could find any spare wood that could be turned into a handle for the sword.
Give me a notice check.
Since technically the sword doesn't actually have like its own individual.
Yeah, give me a notice check if you don't mind.
Okay, actually roll well this time, guys.
Oh no, this is just for you.
5.
Okay.
Oh no, I'm just saying to my dice, who have failed every other notice check that I've had to do.
Oh yeah. So with a 5, you are able to find some. You are able to find some wood that you can kind of fashion together with this leather. It's kind of a crude handle.
Okay, that's at least better than the handle that it had before.
Yeah. What did I say that? Let's take a look at our notes here.
All I had before was fabric.
Let's see here. What did I say that sword was sitting at there for the damage?
Strength plus a d6.
D6. Okay. Make that a D6 plus 1 now, if you want to just make a little mental note of that. All right. With that being said, Al kind of looks you guys over, and he says, well, gang, should we go ahead and, now that we're geared up, make our way out into this forest? I hate to leave Juno behind, but I'm not sure really what else to do with him. And I think with this, Pepper kind of brightens up and she says, wait a second. Hold on. Yes. So, okay, guys, this is a crazy theory, but all right. So, if we're operating on the understanding that if this magic works and feeds on despair, I think it would be safe to say for Juno's situation, he was our food guy. He was the one who would garden, and he would tend to the lush forest, and he would prepare us those banquets. You remember all the banquets, the wonderful food and displays. And
makes sense based on where I found them.
She scampers out up to the cellar entrance and kind of stands in the snow, and everyone kind of scampers and follows. Do you follow as well, Cacta?
Yeah.
She kind of runs.
I just realized I also have that banana that doesn't exactly taste very good, but
the slime nana, yeah, the slimy nana.
Like I'm just gonna put that on the bunny, or whatever it was. Yeah, the bunny.
Well, the bunny is left behind in the other room, unless back in the main cabin,
leaving the guy that we're trying to figure out why he's frozen behind.
Well, that's what Al was. That's what Sentinel was proclaiming. I mean, no one said that they were taking the rabbit with them. So I mean, did you pick them up? Because that was my assumption.
I would have figured we would have.
No, they left them.
But you do have a bag of holding.
I have a bag of emboldening.
I mean, do you take them with you then? In this situation?
I would have thought that I did, yeah.
Okay, alright, well, we'll just say that...
my character wouldn't have seen a reason to leave anyone behind,
especially if what? You cut out there.
Especially if there's danger.
Okay, that's fair. So yeah, then I'll just say that that they're in their bag of holding. But still, the scene does fold out just the way that I described it. Everyone kind of scampers after Pepper, and she makes her way into the clearing. And once she makes her way into the clearing, she kind of looks around and she says, "Look, guys, look all around us. This whole forest is frozen over. Everything, there's no sort of life that could survive here. If we're operating on this notion, then of course Juno would be frozen over. They don't have any reason to have hope when all of their garden has frozen over, everything in the forest is frozen over. There's nothing here to keep them going. Tell you what, hold on. All right.
How big would you say that the garden is?
It's it's bigger than your average size garden. It spans on the side of these cabins, which are, I would say, probably the size of like a one like I would say like a 2 bedroom kind of like 12,000
Because
square foot.
why I asked was because I was going to use the flamethrower to heat up the air, not like on the ground itself, so that way I'm not charring the ground, but heat up the air, like the area that the garden is in, to melt all of the snow and ice off of that area.
Here's what I'll say with that. While it is a good idea, I will just tell you this information. You can kind of ascertain that even if you were to do that and remove all the snow and ice, these crops are dead. There is the you can tell that just looking, kind of walking over and looking at some of the crops, these crops were not meant to be able to live within negative like 10 to 15 to 20 degree below zero weather. There's just nothing that you can do to bring these
I'd like
back
to
in that
pull
manner.
out some. I want to pull out some bullshit iceberry seeds out of my pocket.
Bullshit iceberry seeds. I don't remember you putting those in there. Is this a thing that we went over?
No.
Okay.
That's why it's bullshit.
Ah, yes. So anyways, to get back to reality, Pepper kind of takes her staff and she says, "Guys, let me try something. I've tended to these woods for years and the creatures that live within them. Maybe somehow I can get some of this ornate magic that I have procured over the years working with nature. Maybe I can get something going here." And you see her kind of twirl her staff around in what seems to be a specific motion that she has done many of a time before. And you see in this Arctic frigid air, you see the snow kind of flurry around her. And you see that you see a green glow starts to kind of form around her staff, and it kind of spirals around in a circle in kind of this hypnotic glowing display. And you see that this kind of ball of light starts to kind of swirl around in this semicircle to haloistic arch as she kind of spins this staff around over her head. And you see that the ground around her kind of starts to melt, and you see small little flowers kind of growing around her feet, and you see maybe you see bits of blue grass kind of starting to kind of grow around her in like a small circular patch, and you see that this nature starts to kind of trying to grow and kind of reach its tendrils past this circle. But after a few short minutes, you see that this green light starts to kind of flicker, and it starts to kind of fade before completely sputtering out, and you see this huge gust of icy snow kind of just whoosh across Rue and almost knock them to the ground. And you see just as quickly as that life started growing, it immediately was covered with snow and then immediately turned back to ice. And she says, "Okay, all right, don't get discouraged. All right. Well,
I'm gonna boom out. Do not despair. We shall overcome all obstacles.
She kind of picks herself up, and she dusts herself off, and she turns back to the group, and she says, "Okay, all right. Well, I have some good news and some bad news. I will start with the good news first. The good news is that my magic does still work in this area. Even though it doesn't seem like it, it's not anything to do with the innate magic in this land. So that's the good news. The bad news is whoever is or whatever is controlling this is a force of darkness that I have not seen in this land in a very long time. And I don't know. And she kind of cuts off and trails off, and she says, honestly, I find it very disturbing. I... There's something definitely evil at work here. Something that's not human. This magic, while of course the Frost King and them could probably procure, this is innate magic. This is magic that is not casted. It's something that's just ever flowing. So whatever it is that is causing this, its magic is not reserved by or there's not a limit to it in that regard. And I'm not sure what all that means, but it is very troubling indeed. But at least we know that it's not anything by innates of our hands. So we still have our magic, we still have our wits about us. So that is at least something.
My character's gonna remember just how cold it is and check on the egg.
And I think with this gust of wind, I think that you are reminded. By the way, are you wearing any sort of cold protection or anything? What's your cold situation looking like?
My cold situation?
Yeah.
That depends. How good was the armor that I had, the demonic armor that I was wearing against cold?
Not at all. It had no effect against cold, actually. So I think...
I know I was supposed to have that one sweater, but we never went back to it.
Yeah. And, I think with
Which
the...
was supposed to be great at warming, but we never went back to it, so I have no clue what it was, because you never really gave me any information about it.
Well, the good news is that with the wish spell, all of that was wished away, which is why you're back at bare bones.
Well, most of it, because there is still quite a bit that was using more.
Yeah, like you still have your slippers, you still got the bow.
The sword.
And you got the sword.
The sword that can detect princesses.
Yeah, you know that there's no princesses in this area. But
Actually, technically, wouldn't there be?
No.
Technically, as she is the daughter of the leader of the area, technically she would be considered a princess.
Yes, but as you check the sword, you notice that it doesn't glow around them.
False princess!
I think with that, she laughs and she says, "Oh, silly. This is only for the princesses of the summer court. This doesn't have any bearing here in the winter court." And she...
Lies!
She rolls her eyes and walks away. But
I call upon the power of the pickles.
So, but in all seriousness, given this information gleaned from Rue, from Pepper, what do you do with this information? Is there anything that you?
I'm lighting the forest on fire.
Oh wow, okay. But in all seriousness, is there anything specific that you would like to do in this scene?
I mean, we got to combat the cold one way or another.
All right. So here's what I'll say.
He's like, "Oh, you were serious."
Here's what I'll say. Let's go ahead and
my character isn't adverse to lighting forests on fire, especially after that one tree tried to kill us.
Right. Oh no, I know. So what we'll go ahead and say is we're going to go ahead and while you guys are kind of discussing your next move, let's go ahead and pan back over to someone who is currently not in the call. Let's go ahead and pause the recording really quickly. Oh my goodness, this not in the call thing is becoming cumbersome.
And I'm back.
Yeah, how long were you gone there?
A little bit of time. I'm trying to see if there's like a say on my phone that might be doing this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't be. And dude, it's not when we normally talk, so it's when we're through this, whatever this is, service, Skype or whatever.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I'll make of it.
Well, it's probably the universe's way of saying that hopefully you can join us on Discord at some point where we don't have these issues.
Yeah.
But
I mean, yeah, if everything goes well.
yeah,
I
but
gotta go to the bathroom.
all right. I'll tell you what. Let's go ahead and
Plus, I
take a.
figured you were transferring over to him anyways. Plus,
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay. I was gonna say we could take a small break, but yeah, let's keep it
since it's
pushing.
only gonna be his fight, I don't technically need to be here. I was just saying that in case you don't hear back from me immediately.
Okay. And then we pan back over to Cacta. All right.
Cactus?
I'll be
Cactus?
Cacta.
Cactus got brain freeze.
Hello.
I'll be back.
All right. But in all seriousness, let me go ahead and start back up my recording. And editor, we are back in 3, 2, and 1. All right, so let's go ahead and transition over to your character, Mike. So Raleigh the bear is staring at this crazy deer creature. What are you doing?
My guess is I'm going to turn and run.
Okay. So with that, you turn and run. Let's go ahead and take a look here and see. I'm going to go ahead and roll a D8 for its running. Because it operates on D8s instead of normal
I'm going
D6s.
to do the snow rabbit thing of diving into the snow and pop it up here and there.
Okay, so you're trying to kind of dive in the snow, like pop back up. You have a pace of 6. So for this chase scene, audience who is watching us, we're going to go ahead and roll this D8 versus this D6. It's only 1 dice, and this is how we conduct our chase scenes. We are rolling the dice, and that is a 4 to a 6. All right. So with that, you are kind of jumping here and jumping there, trying to kind of rabbit your way away, if you will. With that, this creature leaps down onto all fours and it starts charging at you. With that, it gains on you quicker than you even thought was possible. It is going to go ahead and lower these fiery red antlers that are glowing this kind of unnatural red, and it is going to go ahead and go for an attack. So it is going in a straight line towards you. So it is going to go ahead, since it was doing a running with no unobstructed movement. It's going to get a +4 to its attack. So let's go ahead and take a look at what that attack is going to be. A ram is going to be a D6. Let's see here. Fighting. Actually, no, it's going to be on a D4. Okay. So, let's see how this looks. Let's go back a little bit. Successful melee attack. Okay. So that's going to be a D4 attack, but it is going to be a +4 onto that. So, we're going to go and roll that D4. There's a D3. Is a 3 plus 4. So 5, 6, 7 to hit there. So let's take a look here at your character sheet. Now this goes against your parry, correct?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, what did I say? 7?
Yeah, 7.
Okay. Let's see here. Ooh. Okay, hold on. Wait. And a -2 parry after leaping 6 in after leaping D6. Okay, weird. All right, that's a weird parameter there. All right. So So with that, I'm going to say that it barely misses you. It kind of you dive forward just in time as it darts as it dashes past you. And with that, you see that it kind of comes to a stop in front of you, turns around, and you see the smoke coming off of its nostrils from this fog, and then it kind of tilts its head back and kind of roars into the night, and then it disappears. What do you do?
Continue running home.
Okay, you make your way. You continue making your way down the road. And audience, for those of you who are watching at home, we're going to go ahead and do a little bit of a scenery change here. Let's go ahead and overwrite this save. And let's go ahead and load in our secondary game map for those of you who are watching at home. All right, options. Let's load. And editor, I'm going to go ahead and pause here while this takes a minute to load. So you can go ahead and edit this part out. All right, you have made it to the forest.
Yeah, no armor. Yeah. Woo!
Are you ready?
Macaroni.
Now here's the thing. The nice thing about this creature is that its damage, right, is its damage is not bad. Well, I mean, sorry, its ability to hit is kind of low, but when it hits, well, that's a different matter.
7 is low. Yikes! No.
Oh no, I haven't got to the damage yet. So no, like it's to hit it's to hit is pretty low because it's operating on a D4. It's just that +4 to attack. But if it,
okay.
Yeah. So, but when it hits, man, it's gonna hit.
I don't know how a 7 didn't hit me.
Well, I will find out here in just a second. There we go. Let's just delete all of this. Import. Cancel, exit. I don't really like this map because it does seem to kind of spam all of this bullshit here. Okay. All right, so the only other thing that I want to get rid of is these little lampposts. Let me see here. Let's just kind of delete that.
Keep in mind, we should be close to our time here.
Oh, well, yeah, I'm aware of where we are in our time. But, you know, I asked you to speed it along, my friend, and you have not done that.
I have sped it.
Oh no, we are nowhere near where we need to be. Like, not even close. We haven't even started.
Well, we had all our friends.
Well, I know, but nobody's moved forward in the story there. Oh well. All right, so how we're going to go ahead and separate this is I'm going to go ahead and put a little let's do like a little figurines. Let's just get a little figurine here, and then I will do another little figurine. So yeah, you're in the forest, which is where I want you to be, but the other one is not. So that's not good. All right, so all right, so let's see here. How can I move this along? All right, okay, cool. All right, so with that, let's go ahead and resume back here now that we've got you in this forest, and this creature is now following you, and we are recording now. All right, and with that, you continue making your way across. You are running down this kind of foresty trail here, and let's go ahead and take a look here and see. We're going to go ahead and have you roll a... Oh, where did that go? Is that dice even showing up somewhere? Somewhere. There it is. Okay, so what we're going to go ahead and have you do is we're going to go ahead and have you roll a directional roll, okay? So this is going to basically tell me where you are at any given point. So let's scale this up here. All right, so well that's interesting. So apparently this dice didn't load correctly. All right, well, I guess we'll just yeet that out of there. All right, so cool. Broken dice. Interesting. All right, let's go ahead and just do this then. All right, so here's what we're going to go ahead and do. We're going to go ahead and get your information here for your character. And bring that into the game. Wherever that went. Oh, there it is. All right, so here's what we're going to go ahead and do. Let's go ahead and take a look here at your character. And you are going to go ahead and roll a survival roll. Now, interestingly enough, survival is not one of your strong suits on here as far as your baseline skills. But I'm pretty sure that does kind of go off of your smarts, which is a D6. So, let's go ahead and see if you can navigate anywhere. That would be helpful. Okay, you got a D6 for that roll there. So you start, you're continuing to get us back into the action. You start charging your way back kind of the way you came. You start kind of bouncing your way through this snow, kind of tripping over logs and different things like that here and there. And you start kind of making your way down what you're pretty sure is to be the path. Let's say that you make it quite some distance. You're quite sure you know where you're going. Of all the things that you are pretty sure you do recognize some of these trees and things of that. Let's go ahead and roll another dice check here. This one I'm just going to go ahead and do in the physical world because I don't feel like loading in assets right now. Let's go ahead and roll a D8 versus your D6. And let's see. Ooh. Okay. You got a 2. They got an 8. Out of nowhere, out of almost thin air, all of a sudden this creature is again right on top of you. You are dashing at full speed through this windy winter wonderland. But it seems as though all of a sudden they just appear right out of thin air and they are right on top of you. We're going to go ahead and make them another attack roll, this time with advantage. So they are going to roll 2 d4s and they are going to, at this point, add them together. So let's go ahead and roll those 2 d4s and add them together. Because they are getting a surprise attack on you because they are, or at least were, hidden. Okay, well, somehow they got a double crit fail. So,
Their antler gets stuck in a log.
with that, they're barreling right on top of you. Mike, describe how you evade their attack.
I do a link type maneuver, and I spin around and I grab the antlers and I twist and I put them right in between a bunch of sticks and logs and things that were that was stumbling over.
Okay. Yeah, you kind of do a weird evasive maneuver and kind of ring around the rosy their antlers, but the trajectory tackles them into a bunch of thickets, and they get their antlers stuck, and you kind of springboard off of that momentum and continue running. With that, let's go ahead and roll. I'm going to roll a d6 for you. You got a 4. I'm going to say that you continue on down the area. Let's go ahead and give you another check here on your notice. Or sorry, your. Oh, this is going to be for your survival. Excuse me. So we're going to go and do another check for that. You got a 5. All right. You continue on down the path. You make your way pretty decently. And with that, you now, let's go ahead and roll d6s for bullshit. Okay, no bullshit. Yeah, you're just kind of getting a pretty straight shot here. With that, you make your way up to the clearing. You see the trees break, and you see the familiar portcullises of your fortress. And with that, at this point, you see that the rest of the group has kind of already made their way down the hill, and they look up and see you rushing back to them.
I'm screaming, that beware, some friends may be foes.
I'm gonna light
You know,
everyone.
Nightlock has betrayed us, or was a spy, or I don't know. He just I'm just stammering, stuttering.
Whoa there! Pepper kind of comes over to you and pats you on the back and says, "Okay, all right, slow down, little one. All right. So, Raleigh. All right, explain to us slowly what happened. What's going on?"
And I duck behind Cacta a little bit, and I'm ready some snowballs, and I turn and I'm ready to fire them into the woods. And then I go, the things that my daughter saw. Tell them what you saw.
There's a silence. This was an intentional silence. And after a good while, you hear, the monsters in the night. They've got red eyes, and an unnatural way of moving. They look like, well, I suppose you could say they look like deers, but something's unnatural about them. The way that they arch their backs, the way that they move. And worst of all, if you focus on them for too long, they disappear. The only way I can ever see them is out of the corner of my eyes. But as soon as you avert your gaze to them, it's like they're never there. Sometimes I don't know if they're in my mind or not. Terrifying things.
Yeah, well, one of them was either Nightlock was always one, or it camouflaged itself, or it infiltrated. Either way, it was Nightlock, and then it ripped him apart and was this horrific thing. And I'm not averting I'm turning my head to kind of see my friends in my peripheral, but I'm not losing sight of the forest as I say this.
All right. So yeah, you're still on the edge of the forest, even though for our audience the scene has changed back to the normal. So with that being said, yeah, you you look back at the forest, and you don't see anything there. Um, and Sentinel kind of adjusts the blade that he's been kind of carrying over his shoulder, and he kind of grips it a little bit tighter, and he says, "Well, the way I see it, at this point we have two options. We can do what we've already been doing, which is stay here in this forest, and stay here in this village, and just wait for these things to eventually come to us, or we can trudge all the way down through this forest, and I guess we can bash down the door of the Ice King, and we can tell him what's what, and we can sort out this whole mess, and maybe we can have a fighting chance. But I tell you, I don't think sitting around here is doing anything. What do you say, gang?" And I think with that, there's a couple of uneasy. Sorry, hold on. With that, there's kind of a couple of uneasy glances, kind of to and fro, and the eyes kind of fall on Cacta and Raleigh.
It's up to you, my new friend, but I think he's right. We need to face this.
Cacta. Smokey. What does Cacta do in this situation?
He's just gonna pick up the bear and just start licking him.
Again, I appreciate your candor. And were I in my human form, I'm sure this would be quite humorous. But this is no time for this.
I mean, somebody's got to get those knots out of your fur.
Well, and I think with this, this well is coming from Sentinel, of course, and he says, "Well, I suppose Raleigh speaks for the majority of us. I think we need to take the fight to them. So, if you all are ready, then I suppose we will set out."
And as I make my way to the armory so I can armor up,
No. You missed that. You missed that. No. The party it's moving on. You missed that window.
I'm just making a quick jaunt.
And as you okay, so as you're like, well, I probably should get to the armory. You start making your way over to where the portcullis is that leads up to up this hill. You make your way all the way to the main entrance, and as you're about to kind of pass by that portcullis gate, all of a sudden there's this whisk of frost and snow that's just super blinding, and the next thing you know, you're turned around and staring back at the party.
And with almost like an amnesic look on my face, I'm just like, okay, and I'm back.
Well, that was relatively quick. Wait, sorry, did you go somewhere? I didn't notice you go anywhere.
I just kind of tapped my head, I scratched my head. I'm just like, I don't remember. Whatever. I'm sure this will do, and I look at the arrow that I'm carrying, that's my spear.
All right, well then, gang, if we're all...
My lack of armor, and to the fortress, to the castle.
Well then, gang, if we are all ready to go and no one else needs to armor up, I suppose we'll go ahead and stake our claim. And with that, he starts trudging towards the forest. And I think that is where we will end our session for this evening. And look at that, 2 hours. on the dot.
Yeah.
Without anybody disconnecting or any sort of technical
Oh,
issues or any sort of mean callbacks, and it was a perfect episode with no lollygagging, and we are exactly where I want to be in my notes. Wonderful.
Take it, we're not.
The world may never know. So yeah, we are in our after party, our after show. So if you're here, welcome. This is of course for our main viewers and our Patreon viewers. And so yeah, what is everyone's thoughts so far? We've gotten covered quite some ground. We got the whole gang together for the most part, except for a rabbit.
Yeah, I think I could use some armor.
Did you like the turnaround there that I gave you?
Yeah, very very woods of a some Breath of the Wild game. Yes.
No, I think it's very much like when there's when you hit one of those invisible walls in a video game. just like, huh, that's funny. It's almost like I should be able to go back and get some art. Oh, the game creators just. Oh, wow. Okay, then. I don't know how I'm supposed to do anything. Oh, wow. Okay, I've wandered into high-level area. Now I can't go back to level 2? Oh.
Oh,
Okay.
I guess I gotta start a new game.
I guess I need to delete my save file and start over from the beginning. I don't think this is what the game developers had in mind.
Oh, I can't tell you, man. That sucks when that happens in a game, especially if it's taking you like 20, 30, 40 plus hours.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So overall, what did everyone think of today's session? There's been some new twists and some new developments. Where's everyone's?
I'm thinking. The tiger was either fucking possessed or never was somebody in our village, and he's just a planted memory. Or I mean, that's some alien chestbuster shit right there, definitely.
So now that we're in the after party, and our Patreons are getting exclusive access. Smokey, I'm going to turn to you. Do you know who Nightlock was? I'm sure you could take a wild stab in the dark.
Oh, you mean it couldn't possibly have been you?
Oh, like one of my alternative sonas, maybe by the name of Psy Nightlock? Yeah, the blue cat? Yeah, that would be really weird, wouldn't it, if I just put my own sona into the game randomly and then they turned out to be a imposter-esque character and they almost killed one of the party members?
Mean that there's is there one really out there, or was this always him?
The world may never know, but no. In all seriousness, we are in the bit of the after party, so I suppose I could be a little less facetious. So I think that
He's always gonna betray you.
I think that how much information should I share? People are at this point are probably paying for our content, so I mean, or not, who knows? Here's what I will say. Yeah, I think that it would be safe to say that somewhere along the lines, I think Raleigh would have been able to kind of, maybe after the Eldritch horror exploding side of things, somewhere from point A to point B of rushing back to his friends, I think it would have dawned on him to the assumption that there was never a right-hand assistant. There was. And once you were able to break tree line, you noticed that building that I described that was right next to yours. I think that one of the weird things that you were able to see in the distant fog is that that building doesn't exist. It was just the one on that one side. So that's a fun little tidbit there. But that is a quote unquote non-canon because it is not being recorded. So it is being recorded, of course, to our Twitch viewers and to our Patreon. But That's just a fun little tidbit there. Just for you guys. So yeah, so interesting little bit there. Oh, and with that, Mike left the party. All right. Well, I guess. So, Smokey, did you have anything to add to there? Now that I've answered all of Mike's questions and he decided to go ahead and leave. What's your thoughts here? What's your thoughts so far on everything, Cacti? Are you
This world is fucked.
Are you? Well, yeah, for sure. Are you intrigued upon the story? Like, do you have any ideas of where I might be going with it so far?
Well, I'm still waiting for us to kill Santa.
You still want to kill Santa?
Why? Why would we kill Santa? He put you on the naughty list 1 to 8 times.
Just make every little boy and girl cry this Christmas as Santa is slain and there's no presents for anyone.
Look, just because Cacta, all right, because he was a thief, didn't get Christmas presents.
Oh, he did get Christmas presents. They just weren't his.
I mean, yeah. I mean, just not really even agreeing with the Santa thing,
Yeah. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we want to share here.
Maybe we could share what happened last Christmas, just a little brief.
No, because you didn't. Because you didn't get to the part in my notes where I feel comfortable disclosing any information about what I have further wrote down. So nope. Because now we're going to have a major episode next Sunday that's going to be a 4 to 5 hour to 6 hour episode. Because we now have two.
I don't know how
Yeah.
I don't know how I'm going to make it with my phone being the way it's being.
I don't know, man. I don't know. But, dude, we are so far behind on my notes right now that it is crazy. We now have 2 huge events that we have to get through. And it's unfortunate.
Blame it on the roll.
I guess
So it definitely wasn't for lack of our trying. Just we both had really shitty rolls.
I guess so, and maybe I should have done more jump cuts or something. I don't know. Who knows? Oh well. But let's see here. Do we have any speculations, Cacta? So you of course heard that you are not welcome here. You're like an outsider or whatever it was I said. What do you think about that? What's your thoughts on that situation? The developments there.
Well, obviously they know I'm here.
Yeah, but just the way that they said it, what does that make you think?
Well, they had the person saying it had no control over me being here, and I could be the deciding factor whether this world lives or dies.
Yeah, he's very much Sora.
I guess so. I just find it interesting that they seem to understand the fact that you're not part of this land, that you're an outsider.
Hell, I'm an outsider from the area that I came from.
That is true. But I definitely feel like it's safe to say that you're more of an outsider here than wherever you currently are. I think that I don't think you have to be a Patreon subscriber to understand that. There is a lot going on here that is very unnatural.
I mean, he's an outsider everywhere he's been except for the material plane.
Yeah, that's true.
That's his home plane.
Oh yeah.
I mean, technically even there.
So, what is your thoughts on the fact that since Rue, sorry, excuse me, I keep calling them Rue. I have them wrote down here as Kangaroo the Rue. I don't know why, but that's why I keep making that error. Anyways, So for Pepper, when Pepper tried to cast their spell, obviously they're the druid of the group, the druid slash healer. What is your guys' thoughts on the fact that them being such a powerful druid slash healer, that's all the powers of a druid as they are. What is your thoughts on the fact that they weren't able to try to kind of reverse some of this magic?
Should we blame the
I
friends?
wasn't here for that.
Oh, that's unfortunate, Mike. What do you think, Cacta? Specifically
obviously-
Cacta, who I've brought into this world.
Well, obviously we're gonna have to fight fire with cold.
I think they're. I don't think that was Cactus' voice. That was or like an evil witch. Like something off there. But in all seriousness,
Don't worry about it.
I feel like we're gonna have to fight cold with cold. More cold.
It needs more cold. When in doubt, just add some ice to it. Apply ice to the wound. That always fixes it.
Let us fight the Ice King with the Frost King. Yes.
I feel like
Bring on the White Walkers.
Oh, yeah. You know what's really funny? Every time I roll these dice, your ping gets worse and worse. Smokey and the Tabletop Simulator. It's really funny.
Winter's coming.
But I think that there is a lot to be uncovered here. Unfortunately, there's not too much more else I can really disclose. At this given point, it's kind of a small juncture from one intermission scene to the other. So for outside of lack of better things, I mean, we've got some little tidbits of things happening here.
Who do we think the Ice King is, Smokey? Do we think it's Frosty the Snowman?
No, it's Santa.
So what did you
Santa
think?
with a shotgun.
So Mike, what is your thoughts so far on that deer creature? Has your opinion changed at all that it's a nil?
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
Oh, really?
It's definitely a Neil.
Oh, oh, really?
No, I joke. I don't know. I think it's probably I don't know.
Well, give me your best theory. You being a past DM of 20 years and, a player of 30 plus, 50 plus years.
It's coming from the shadows, right? So, I mean, that still doesn't rule out Neil. It has antlers. That still doesn't rule out Neil. It likes doing horrific and terrifying things like rip itself out of a stuffed animal. That doesn't rule out it being a Neil.
No, Nils don't do that by canonical lore.
I don't know. I think Sans would.
But in all seriousness, give me a good educated guess. You, of course, having the extensive library of books and creatures and entities. I want you to give me an actual non-bullshit logical answer for our paying viewers. Everyone who is paying us money and supporting our podcast is looking at you with glistening eyes, and they are hanging on the unsubscribe button as we speak. And the manner of us going financially destitute is in your hands, Mike. No pressure. Microphone presses
pressure.
closer to We are waiting.
Look, I don't have enough information yet, okay? I see it doing some shadow shit, all right? Which still means it could be reconnected to Shadowfell, right?
Okay.
And so, I mean, the thing is it still could be connected to Shadowfell. If it's not a Neil, it's some other kind of shadowy, demonic-esque thing. And at that point, it depends on which edition, which this thing. But dude, I mean, it could very well be just a undead evil reindeer.
An undead evil reindeer.
Yeah, I mean, it could just be. Because we're not looking at like demonic corruption here. per se.
Mm.
So it's not like it's presenting brimstone and fire. It's shadow.
Mm.
Yeah, it's got the red glowing eyes, but yeah, a lot of things have red glowing eyes. The Nil have red glowing eyes, for crying out loud.
What was your thoughts of it completely disappearing and then reappearing completely on top of you?
I mean, that still seems very shadow. Dropped into the shadows.
Well, here's the thing. I never described it going into the shadows in that scene, specifically.
No, you just said disappeared.
Mm-hmm. But, yes, but specifically disappeared as you're staring directly at it.
Now, again, that's still kind of interesting. I don't know.
I
That
think
reminds me of something from Doctor Who, but
I think for that one, I think based upon the fact that my descriptions may have failed me a little bit there, for that one, I am going to be a little less aloof, since we are in the after party. It did for that one ghost. It did use one of its abilities of going invisible. That was what happened there. That was actually it going invisible, which is why I didn't say it like crept into the shadows or anything like that. It just ceased to exist.
All right.
Now, does that change your theory on a nil? Because nil don't innately have invisibility.
No, they don't. No.
Yeah.
So at this point, I think it's definitely like an evil reindeer situation,
Okay.
and that makes me think of a certain individual that shall not be named.
Yeah, they shall not be named. I'm looking at you, Santa Claus.
I'm looking at you, Voldemort.
I'm looking at you, Harry Popper. You and that cloak of invisibility. It was you the whole
I'm
time.
looking at you, Vichy.
Oh shoot, Vichy's back.
Vichy as he died cursed to the winter world.
The one time that I will allow that name to be uttered into this universe is in reference to a demonic reindeer that spouts out of a stuffed animal and strikes fear into the hearts of men. I love it. That's great. Chasing them through the forest like a blood-hungry animal.
Look, it's Claus, okay? It's Voldemort, Santa Claus, it's Voldemort.
Oh, my goodness.
Claus.
Well,
And it's evil, evil, dark council of wizard reindeer.
yes. Well, on that note, ladies and gentlemen, it is 1:50 in the morning, and I unfortunately do have to call it a night.
Look, now I'm just looking forward to them standing upright, throwing on some long clothes of robing and wands.
Oh, of course. Robes and wands and wizards, oh my. With that, everyone, I want to thank you guys so much for tuning into our live stream. Tonight, we don't have enough viewers to transition over to a raid party. But again, for those of you who have been watching the stream, I want to thank you guys so much. It means a lot to us. Thank you for following our channel and tuning into what we do. This, of course, is a future episode that will eventually be and make its way over to Spotify and our other listening platforms. We, of course, are recording ahead of schedule to make sure that we have this kind of at least somewhat broadcasted in time for the holidays. So, without further ado, it is time that we, of course, must call it a night. And with that, I want to thank you guys so much for watching. And until next time, as always, safe travels and fair winds. Good night, everyone.